Hello everyone, it's great to have you here. This is Siddharth Ramasubramanian, founder and CEO of Hello Tempeh. You're watching this, which means you're about to cook some delicious tempeh really soon, and our job is to try and make that a little bit more simple and a little bit more fun for you. So let's just start with what is tempeh. In its simplest sentence, in its simplest form, it's nothing but fermented soybeans. So it's a 3-ingredient product, which is soybeans, water, and a fermentation culture, which creates this wonderful ingredient that is so versatile. What you'll see in this little video series is how widely its applications can be used, from a block to cubes to mince to mash and everything in between, as far as your imagination can go. So not only is it a clean product, it's a really versatile product, and what makes it even more interesting is that it absorbs flavors and spices like very few other vegetarian and vegan ingredients do. Paneer and tofu don't absorb flavors as much as they coat flavors. And so, as we spoke to tons of consumers in India and overseas, we found vegetarians and vegans wanting more and more new options and new varieties for them in restaurants, hotels, and cafes. That was the motivation for us to introduce tempeh, and we're excited that we have this high protein, low carb, low fat, easy to digest ingredient that's super versatile, super easy to cook, as long as you follow some basic instructions. And that's what this video series is about, is to teach you the basics of tempeh. So happy tempeh cooking.
Let's start with how to thaw tempeh. Tempeh is a fermented product and is sensitive to temperature. Hence, it's important to keep your tempeh blocks in the deep freezer till you're ready to cook with it.
The thawing process in tempeh is very simple. Just take out the tempeh block from the freezer and keep it in the refrigerator overnight, or thaw it at room temperature for 30 minutes if you're using smaller batches. Post thawing, if the leftover tempeh block is kept at room temperature for longer than 1 to 2 hours, the fermentation will restart and the tempeh will develop a strong fermentation node. Hence, please keep your leftover tempeh block back in the deep freezer.
Tempeh blocks might sometimes show tiny black spots on it. It happens due to a process called sporing. It is a natural process and the blocks are completely safe to consume. Now that you know how to store and thaw tempeh, let's start cooking with it.
Tempeh absorbs flavors very well. It's important to remember that the smaller you cut tempeh, the more it absorbs flavor. We recommend cutting the blocks into cubes that are 1.5 cm or smaller depending on your usage. You can also cut the blocks into strips and treat it similarly like the cubes. Here are some basic steps you can follow for any dish. Marinate the tempeh cubes in your choice of oil, salt and pepper and set it aside for 30 minutes. If you're cooking an Indian-based dish, add some chili powder to the marinade as well. Pan toss the marinated tempeh cubes with a little oil in a non-stick pan for 6 to 8 minutes on a medium flame till it turns a light golden brown, and then keep it aside after that. Add the pan-tossed tempeh into the curry or base when the curry or base starts boiling. Do not add the tempeh at the end of the cooking process. It is important to give tempeh time to soak up the flavors. Add some extra water to the curry or base after adding in your tempeh and cook it for 8 to 10 minutes till the water reduces and reaches a desired consistency. This helps the tempeh absorb flavors better. You can add some sugar or jaggery when the tempeh is cooking. It helps to balance out the natural fermentation note of tempeh and the flavors develop better. Here are some dishes you can try out with the cubes. Tempeh makhani, tempeh stir fry, tempeh kati rolls, tempeh ghee roast and tempeh donburi bowl.
A great way to use tempeh is by mincing it. It absorbs flavors really well in the minced form.
You can mince tempeh in different ways. Use a knife to mince it. Use a grater to grate it. Or you can use your hands to crumble it or a masher to mash it. Do not mince the tempeh in a mixer or in a blender. This results in an undesired consistency that's hard to work with, and it elevates the fermentation note due to the heat exerted by the blades. Heat some oil in a pan. Add onions and any other base ingredients that you wish to. Cook it till the ingredients are well sauteed. To this, add the minced tempeh and cook it till it turns golden brown. This will ensure the mince absorbs all the flavors. Add the spices to the mixture and cook it for another 3 to 5 minutes. This gives enough time for the flavors to seep in. You can add some sugar or jaggery to the tempeh mince to eliminate the fermented note. Once cooked, minced tempeh is ready. You can use it in a variety of recipes as a filling or shape it into desirable shapes. Here are some dishes you can try with minced tempeh. Tempeh kebabs, tempeh bolognese, tempeh bhurji,